Hey guys, this is Hamid, author of the book 7-Figure Agency Mindset A to Z. Hoping that you are busy growing your agency, thinking about how to scale to 7 figures and beyond. And let me add one more video today explaining about how you could actually scale your agency to 7 figures, and that is using Upwork. Really, Upwork? You might be thinking that Upwork is a freelancing platform. How you could actually scale up to 7 figures from the Upwork? Is it really possible? It is possible, and I will let you know how we were able to scale the agency to 7 figures using Upwork as well. So guys, let's start with Upwork on how to scale your agency to 7 figures. What are the techniques and tips you guys need to make sure that you have in your Upwork profile and your team formation to reach to 7 figures? So guys, referring back to the page number 149 of 7-Figure Agency Mindset A to Z book, it says, you need to invest in connects, and that is the Upwork currency. What is connects? That's Upwork currency. You have to pay dollars to buy the connects and then bid for the jobs. So guys, I cannot tell you that how many connects you need to actually bid for one job is gonna keep changing. All I can get you is some tips and the right ways and mechanisms to make sure that you're rocking. Is it possible to boom on Upwork without money? No. You have to invest money to make money through the Upwork. Now the book says that you get some connects for free while you sign up for the first time or get selected for an interview, and you get some connects wherever you get a review by a happy client, and you get some connects after passing the Upwork readiness test. There are different packages available. My recommendation as an agency owner, when you make your agency profile, when you make your Upwork profile, always tag your agency and your profile together. And there are reasons for it. Because if you sell yourself as a freelancer, Upwork will not allow you to expand that. Upwork wants you to work as a freelancer and not involve any other person because you're selling yourself as a freelancer. However, if you attach your agency on the Upwork with your profile, you have unlimited chances to grow. How? Upwork will not hold you accountable for having a larger team, for having a designer, for having a developer, for having a marketer, for having a virtual assistant, because now you're selling as an agency owner and you're the middle person between the client and your resources. So guys, let's get back to the book. Page number 151, 152, that says that you need to ensure that your Upwork profile is completed. You have to make sure that the description is out there. The description is extremely optimized for Upwork search engines. You make sure that your Upwork title is extremely understanding in terms of what you are providing. You should not sell everything to a single profile. My recommendation is, if you have chosen your niche as per my book, then you have to make your Upwork profile and your agency focusing on that narrow niche. Do not sell everything again. So for example, if you are a Shopify development agency, then your Upwork profile and your agency profile should have Shopify in your title, in your description, and somewhere in your agency description as well, that you sell that as a dedicated service. It increases the chances for Upwork to actually find out if you provide Shopify development. When people are searching for it, it works same way as Google. Upwork is gonna find in your title, in your description, in your skills, if you provide Shopify development. And not only that, Upwork will also see that if you have gotten reviews that says you deliver Shopify development projects. So just make sure that your personal profile and your agency profile is reflecting what exactly you are selling. Let's refer to the book, page number 152. It says that you should have a defined hourly rate. A whole chapter on my book is on pricing transparency. That also explains how to calculate your hourly rate. Can I go ahead and put up the hourly rate just because I feel that it should be $30 an hour or maybe $300 an hour? Because I'm an expert, I should at least charge $300 an hour? No, it shouldn't go like that. You should go ahead and actually check how your competitors are charging, And if you have an agency, then you have to look through a lot of parameters to see that what are your expenses, what are your overhead expenses, what are your marketing expenses, what are your production expenses. I've covered that in one of the video and into the chapter of the book as well. So you may have to refer as to how to calculate that hourly rate, but just make sure that your hourly rate is actually leaving you a minimum of 25 to 30% of net profits, because the agency doesn't mean that you're doing the work yourself. You have to implement EOS model. That means that you're the visionary and you're actually going from doing everything to being a visionary, and your resources are working for your agency. So choose the hourly rate which is actually competitive, leaving a decent profit value for you. And then whenever you get a customer project, you're actually breaking that down into number of hours multiplied by hourly rate equals the project price. So guys, some tips for you from the book. It says place bids during the time zone in which you and your clients are available. That's number one thing which I explained to the agency fellows, that if you are working in a subcontinent time zone and you're bidding for United States clients, it may not work better because you're actually not matching the time zone. So you might want to consider shifting your time zone to the US time, because you have to place a bids for American clients. And if you are working for Middle Eastern clients, or let's say European clients, then you have to consider their time zone and shift your schedule in order to make the bids, win the projects, and then later on implement those projects within their time zones as well. There's a whole lot of chapter in my book that explains about the time zone issues. Another important tip is bid for the jobs for which the client has a good track record on Upwork. Then it says focus on the relevant keywords. The keywords, I explained that it should be niche focused, but then you also have to see that you're not dealing with any scammers. You're not dealing with absolutely new clients because you're expert and you don't know how the client's history is. Just like the client is watching your history, you should watch your client history as well to make it a good experience. And then try to bid on jobs that have fewer proposals. So if you're already bidding on a job which has over 100 proposals and yours is 101, unfortunately, it's going to decrease the probability of winning the jobs from Upwork. Try to match the client's budget, ensuring your net profits are not compromised. So if your client has a budget of $5,000 and you're trying to bid $15,000, so there are higher chances that you're not going to get the job because client do not have money for it. So you have to be realistic about how much you should bid for. Another important avenue which I learned from one of my mentors back in 2012 and 13 is that break down your customer's inquiry or the post into different pieces. Respond your bid with a solution for everything that he asked for. Yes, right in the first bid that you're putting to the customer, showing that you have studied everything about the job and you are actually an expert to render that job as well, and you have the right solution as well. So break the customer inquiry or the post into different pieces with your solution underneath. So then it says the opening line of the proposal is very important, as it is the first thing the client sees when reading your bid. So your chances are your opening lines. If you're not catchy in your opening lines to get the client attention, you might lose this bid and waste your money and the connects. Then it says in the main body, it is important to demonstrate to the client that you have read the requirements and that executing them won't be a problem. Your bid should actually ensure a client that you're an expert, you have the solution, and you're ready to start implementing it as soon as possible. Another important tip from 7-Figure Agency Mindset A to Z book is provide the client with relevant sample work and link it to your portfolio. Yes. So you need to have an agency website. This has been covered into the book. And once you have an agency website, just make sure that, let's say if you're selling Shopify development, then you have a cool portfolio for that Shopify projects in your website, and you are sending the client to the link to actually see that how cool websites you have done before or how cool marketing results that you have done for Shopify sites. Then it says, make sure to ask questions in order to clarify what are the expectations So if something is not clear from the client post, in the end, just put it, I just want to understand that your XYZ requirement is not understood. So please, if you can share the response into the message, and then I can get you better estimates and more precise timelines as well. This will help your customer to actually get back to you and provide more explanation about his post. And then finally, if the customer has responded you back, you should have a funnel to get back to the customer on a regular interval, let's say in a couple of days, in 3 days, reminding the customer back that you're here for your help, you remember the customer, and probably there might be 50 to 100 more people who have bid for the job, and you have to win from all those 100 people. So you have to keep a very strong follow-up with a very strong proposal. And if you get the messages, then keep an interval to get back to your customers in time, within a few minutes, within a few hours. Do not delay that, because delaying can actually lose that particular job as well. So guys, that is not it. Once you understood how to win the job over the Upwork from one profile, attach different Upwork profiles under that agency. You could even add tens of profiles and then sell those tens of resources. And even if you have employees, you can go ahead and sign a contract with your employees, and the payments can actually go to the agency account, and then you can pay back to your employees. Or if you want to make a contract with external freelancers, you could do that as well. So imagine that if one profile is getting you $5,000 to $10,000, how much would be for 18 profiles? Do the maths, get back to me into the comments, and let me know if you're able to scale to 7 figures soon with the strategies which I mentioned you. Just make sure that you have notified yourself for the videos and ensure that you have subscribed. And do not forget to actually share these tips with other agency owners, because I want to make sure that you guys win. You should also ensure that your fellow agency owners win as well.